Okay, gonna do a quick tire change on the nanrobot D4 Plus. I don't take mine all the way off. You might have to, I don't know, it just depends. But I loosen them up. There's a lock washer on both sides. I actually use a 4-way for the back tires, which is perfectly fine. I always say I'm gonna make these videos, but I get real aggravated and I turn them off, to be honest with you. Not that this is hard, because this is actually the easiest scooter I have to work on, but I don't know. I don't edit my films, not a professional YouTuber or anything like that. I'm not gonna be fast or fancy. It's gonna be realistic. But saying that, this scooter is quick as far as I'm concerned when it comes to changing the tuber tire. Even though I forgot, just break these zip ties off that hold your power wire against the inside of this frame so it don't rub on your tire. Like, let's see if I can do this without going inside and having to get some scissors. Should be able to. Very dirty and muddy right now because this is really my farm truck. See, there's your power wire attached, which goes through the inside of your axle. Is hollow. That's how your power gets into the motor, if you want to know. But yes. Now we'll take off these 6 hex screws. I use an 8-volt rechargeable drill. It's not so powerful you're going to do it too much and strip anything. And you got to be careful. You want stuff on these scooters torqued, or not torqued, I'm sorry, not torqued, snug. You don't want to overdo stuff. Taking it off or putting it back on. You'll strip it, or you won't be able to get it back off, and then you'll strip it trying. Some people use Loctite. Some companies put Loctite on it at first, so the very first time you change your tire on your scooter, this is a split rim, which I personally like. It makes it changing easier. But the first time you do it, these might be hard to get out. Get you just a little torch lighter from the gas station and hold some heat on this for 10-15 seconds, and it should break loose that Loctite if there's some on there, so you don't get frustrated and strip it out and make it worse because you can't figure out why it won't come loose. But I never had a problem with the scooter on that one. They don't gob that stuff on there as far as I'm concerned. 5, 6. One more? Yeah, one more. Make sure you get the rims, not the motor ones. You don't want to take the motor apart. And always, I didn't do it because this was already flat, but always on a split rim, always let the air out of your tire before you even think about loosening these. Because if you don't, first of all, it's gonna be really hard to come out because all the air pressure is gonna put against it, and you're gonna crack your rim. You don't want to do that. So let the air out. 2 side ones, lock washers are on there. I just took those 6 off, which means it's a split rim, so it'll literally just, I don't have it jacked up very high. So it'll literally just split in half, which is why it's called a split rim. That's right. See? Half of the rim is the motor itself, and half of it is that little hole in it that the valve stem goes through. hoping you can see this good because I can't tell the way this is set up. But if I had some armadillo or tire sealant, I would just use that because that stuff works great. I just haven't used it in a long time, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't have to do this. If I had that, I could just put some of that in and it would seal it up. So, and with split rim scooters, you need to make sure you have the right tire pressure when you're riding, because lower than, if it says 50, pretty much if you go lower than 45, chances are you're gonna wear a hole in it without realizing it, and it's gonna start leaking eventually. I usually put a little air in the tube first. Just to round it up, give it that profile it needs to sit inside the tire better. Now these have arrows. Make sure you have them facing the right direction, facing rolling forward, and make sure you put your tube in so your valve stem's coming on the right side to be the opposite of your rotor. See, put that back in the hole. So, yeah. You know how to put a tube in a tire, I'm sure. Can't see good, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this quick, I got stuff to do besides this. Things always go easy. And then when you record, I don't know, I think it's just me. It always seems to take longer. Yeah, there we go. The tube didn't have very much dust on it. A lot of them have like a dust to make it more powdery and kind of lubricated feeling. But whatever. Okay, so we got that on. Get the tube in. And I'll put the side with the hole for the valve stem back on. Push it on. And you blow it up a little like that, because then when you put this together, you don't want your rim or your tube to be pinched in between your rim. That would not be good. I really need to clean this scooter. Anyway. That's back on. I usually have it set up a little higher when I'm doing this. It's making it a little difficult because I don't, but line those holes up. I know this scooter real good, so I don't think it's pinching. Be careful when you start them off. It's really better to start it off by hand. They're real easy. You don't want to strip it. But, like I said, I know this scooter well. Also, just like a car, you don't want to put these in and tighten them at first. You know, get them in there, set, but then go around like a car, tighten one, do the one across from it, you know, so on. So everything will be tightened down even. You don't want to just put this in and torque it down right off the back or nothing. Snug it down. Shouldn't use the word torque, because like I said earlier, not torque, snug. Now if you do pinch the tube, you could usually feel it. it'll feel like a little resistance when you're trying to put it in. And if you accidentally do that, you'll screw up your new tube. You don't want to pinch it. I'm hoping you're enjoying a realistic view on changing the tube for an electric scooter with a split rim. Not edited for time and making it seem any easier than it may or may not be, because generally working on these is not difficult. It's just intimidating to a lot of people because it's really different than what we've seen before. But do some research. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that are very educational. That's how I learned everything. And groups, nanrobot Facebook group. I've been in for years. I won my D6 2.0 for free there last year. Boy, Jesse at Careless Kingdom just won his. I know other people, 3 or 4 other people in there who have won scooters and hundreds of dollars worth of prizes. Anyway, there it is. That's back on. I put it on before I aired it up. I know it's fine. But there's a washer on the inside. There's going to be a washer on the inside, and then the lock washer on the outside, and the nut. It's going to be like that on both ends. You got to be careful when you put your rotor in there so it fits up in your space right. This is not a complicated procedure. Changing the tube and tire on this scooter, the D4 Plus 2.0, generally takes me 15 minutes a piece. The front one's a little different because of, it's got the old school springs in the front instead of the, like here, because one of the wire is in the way, but whatever. And you can see how those lock washers fit in that little spot right there on both sides. So it helps hold it in. And these, it's okay to torque down. Okay, you don't overdo it, but yeah. Shit. Snug down. Put these little caps back on. Valve stem, a pain in the butt to get to sometimes, for some reason. Not usually, but since I'm doing a video, it will. 50 PSI like it's supposed to, especially with new tires. Sometimes I'll pump it up to like half and then let some out, or just wait and then pump it back up. But if you ever get a little feeling of unbalanced or something, sometimes you could just let the air out, air it back up, kind of reset the tube so it fits in there right.